Scum got an update over the holidays, and I know I am late to the reading of it, but it was quite an interesting one to say the least. They updated the merchants and traders in the game that affects any player who wishes to utilize them. Of course, players don't need to use the traders, but they will find themselves playing the game as it used to be intended and not how it currently is. You can buy tons of stuff depending on the server you play on, ranging from vehicles to medical supplies to building materials, clothes, weapons, and ammo. And all that is required is for you to save up enough Scum bucks to head over and buy what you need. Or at least that's how it used to be. Now the developers are putting a spin on the world by blocking certain items from being purchased by players with low fame points. Now this may sound like a weird idea for those who don't know the story of Scum, but it does make sense. Scum is a game show in a dystopian universe that captures criminals, both legitimate and those who simply rebel against their corporate overlords, and are sent to an island to battle for fame, fortune, and of course the corporation's viewership counts. As in any sport or battle, there are fan favorites, and those favorites have fame. The traders on the island have been there for a minute, and whether by orders or by their own judgment, have decided not to trade with unknown or low-fame players or contestants. This makes sense to me from a story perspective, and I think overall it's a fine idea. But I can't help but think of the second and third order of effects from this decision. Scum at its core is an online survival game where players are able to play while you are offline. Many people who have jobs, kids, or any real-world responsibilities or relationships can't afford to spend hours on end in the game like those who don't have those responsibilities, which means not only will they be behind on scavenging and base building and more, they will be behind on fame farming and won't be able to use the traders as the great equalizer. My point is this. There is a good chance that this could divide the player base from the younger ones with little to no responsibilities and the middle-aged ones who have tons of them. Ironically enough, it's the older players who would have been around long enough to see the Scum progress and supported them throughout their development. Also, side note, this is a clear generalization. I know there are a lot of younger men and women with huge responsibilities. I was one of them, so please don't take offense. What is even more brutal is that every time you die, you lose fame points, and it is easier to die in this game than it is to survive. And in the current state of Scum, where performance issues and bugs are a bit on the poor and high side, deaths could occur that aren't your fault. And all that time you spent farming for fame could all be for nothing, and at that point, you lose more than your fame. You lose your time, too. And for a feature like this that is dependent on the player's time investment to unlock certain items that many would deem critical, like vehicles or ammo or weapons, you need to be certain that they don't needlessly lose that fame. Nothing hurts quite in the same way as grinding for days to unlock a vehicle option and not even having the money to buy it yet, but just unlocking the option to buy, just to glitch out, get cornered by a puppet, and die and lose that capability. This also might make the player progression a bit linear as well, because some skills are able to be upgraded faster than others, and with those upgrades come fame progression, which means that more players will start looking at the quickest way to upgrade fame, and that will include not taking the skills they normally would because they simply won't have access to things like ammo, vehicles, or firearms at the traders. Now, one fix to this could be to have another trader that is kind of like a black market trader who specializes in selling goods to the no fame to low fame threshold of individuals. These items could be really poor durability, they could maybe cost a bit more, but fame wouldn't be the focus, and they could even move around a lot around on the map perhaps. So that's one idea. Now, of course, I could be wrong, and this may not become a reality. After all, there's plenty of server settings that the individual server owners have control over. But I can't help but think that someone with not much time won't be able or willing to dedicate so much time in the game before they can even enjoy all of its benefits. There will be more balancing of this feature, and they have even started doing that in their latest hotfix. It doesn't say which items got adjusted, I wish it did, but at least we know they are actively working on it. But that's all I really have for this video. What do you guys think? Are the fame point costs for certain items too high, unfair, or out of reach? Do you think this will divide the community, or do you think it'll all work out in the end? Let me know in the comments below, and if you made it this far, consider subscribing to catch more content like this. Until the next one, happy surviving and path out.